Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to Freedom Unlimited with me, Jen Ramsey. And I'm here to say that I've already got a special episode lined up. We are having what I'm going to call a podcast dessert. And it's a continuation of an interview that I have done with Julie Tengdahl of Tengdahl Fashion. And Julie and I got into a really deep conversation about freedom and everything. And I encourage you to go back and listen to that episode. But what I realized at the end of that hour was that there were still things we wanted to talk about. Specifically, I wanted to understand where Julie was at with her business now, especially as we're coming in Australia out of our COVID-19 retreat, as we've been calling it, and Julie's been calling this very much a hibernation. So, Julie, I wanted to welcome you back again and say thank you for your time to come and have some podcast dessert with us.
Thank you. Thanks, Jen.
So, yes, so Julie, we talked in the last episode about the fact that for you, COVID-19 was really a chance to sort of pull back, to go into, to use the term hibernation, and you pull back in all spaces, and particularly in the space of social media. But it wasn't all hibernation. I just wonder if you could share with us how that went, what you found out of that time and what that's meant for your business.
Well, creatively, creators are actually used to going into a bit of hibernation and creating that space to be able to develop something new. So I wasn't in a fearful state because I actually do go into that process before every collection. It just that this enabled everything to be shut down. Like I wasn't having to think about retail or social media. All I could just focus on was what do I want Tengdahl to look like in the future. So you do go through those ups and downs because I had a really deep hibernation of, what's important when you really go into some, a stressful time in your life. Like what do you keep? What do you keep in your house? What do you keep to wear that are sacred to you and that you don't want to let go of? So there was two ideas of I was going into how to strengthen my essentials and core collection, and also because that is actually the base of every wardrobe. I mean, we all need to have those classic pieces that take us anywhere, but we can also build on. So to be able to move to that next level of design and more creative pieces, you need to have that base. So I was working on that, and at the same time creatively working on the next collection, which were the pieces to build on this. So they're the really beautiful handmade tulle skirts and silk tops. So you could travel with that, or you could, obviously we're traveling within Australia now for the next year. So yeah, you could use those pieces to take you to, wherever you want to go, but in a more evening capacity as a day capacity with the essentials.
With the essentials. So it's kind of interesting, isn't it? We've been in this COVID-19 space of stripping back, getting back to the essentials, to what's most important, to our key priorities, and that's what this time has really all been about. And from what I'm hearing you say, it's the same thing. You're really focusing back in that in terms of where Tengdahl is really at. So when you went through this process, I mean, let's just be girls for a minute and talk a bit about fashion. Tell me, what do you see as those? I mean, there are some parts of my wardrobe that I absolutely love, but what do you see as the core essentials that are so valuable to us in our wardrobes that can
well
take us
essentially,
anywhere?
as a designer of my own brand, I mean, the brand reflects me as a woman, and also my needs as a woman and how I wear the fashion. So it's really, they were the pieces I've been wearing every day. Like of course there's the classic jean, but it's the classic shirt, the t-shirt, the beautiful easy care jacket. When I had to do a podcast, I've had done a few and one with you. It's what can we put on that's easy, I feel comfortable organically, I feel that I can just speak, relaxed by what I'm wearing. So yeah, they're actually pieces that I personally wear and love. and I've curated them. Sorry, curated them to get to the core, the essence of what are the best pieces in the whole
Hmm.
wardrobe.
So do you have any there? We're showing, we've got, we're here on video. Do you have anything there that you want to show us? I notice you've got
Well,
some clothing there with us,
well,
behind you.
I've put together, and this is obviously my studio. So these were the pieces I pulled out of the collection, and went through, and what is it? Is it creating something of value? What is the piece? What do we need it for? So, again, I've got the classic t-shirts, and where we've got the collection there, but also it's not all black. We need some contrast, and also I would normally add some bright scarves, which would be those add-on pieces. But you don't buy a scarf unless you've got the core. This, in my opinion, as a designer, you've got to have your core ready, because in spiritual terms as well, these pieces are the base. They're the pieces that you build on, and if they aren't built correctly, then it's hard to get a really good working wardrobe and to make life easy for you as you move through fashion choices. So is that and also on this side, we've been working with I really love, it brings me back to my youth, dancing and ballet, and so I always love to work with tulle, and we started doing that. We called it the Margot Fontaine skirt last year to intro the ballet in. So it's working with different variations of that, and playing with texture and color, but in a very classic environment.
How beautiful is that? How beautiful. So you've gone from the core, the basics, the essentials, and then into something that's very much more, I guess, ethereal and ephemeral, to sort of really step into our femininity in many ways as well.
Yeah, well, because I do talk about the goddess,
Yes, you do.
language. So it's moving into that, the essence of being a woman,
Mm,
and when we put a beautiful full skirt on, we feel delicious, and
mm.
we can radiate, our womanhood.
Absolutely. How beautiful. Well, I can't wait to see one of those tulle skirts in the flesh. That'll be really wonderful to see that. And just in terms, if you were speaking to
Mm.
someone today and there was sort of, three pieces out of your collection, those essentials that you think would be great to take us forward out of this hibernation and back into the world, what would those three pieces be?
Well, I've actually curated that to 5 pieces, and I call it the
Uh-huh.
Tiffany collection. So it actually, I've built the brand on these 5 pieces, and I'm wearing 2 of them, actually 3 of them. I'm wearing the trousers as well. So it's the classic, unstructured, easy care. The fabric is high tech and a beautiful, sustainable fabric out of Japan. Camisole, trouser, dress, and that's the I think that's the 5 pieces, yeah,
That's
and a
beautiful.
skirt.
So that's
Yeah,
Tiffany.
yeah.
That's called
It's called
Tiffany.
the Tiffany set, and we do have it on the online
Mhm,
format, and
mhm,
that's the base of the whole collection, and from that,
mm.
you can move up and down in so many different ways, in the collection.
I love it. I love it. And I do love that jacket. And I've been looking specifically for a jacket like that. So I'm going to be
It
coming to see you for that.
The whole family had, like, my daughters, that's their go-to
Yeah.
piece. They're going to a meeting and they wanna feel relaxed and not too stitched up, but you do feel very still classic and professional. If you're in a business sense, but also we sell to a lot of creatives, in the
Mm.
architectural field, and they also like a very uncluttered wardrobe, because they're also, talking to the client, and they want to be in a neutral palette as well.
That's it. That's exactly right. And that's when I look at that
Mm,
jacket you're wearing today, it's exactly what I've been looking for. Nothing that's too stitched up, but
mm.
something that I could wear to a meeting over a lovely dress. Or if I'm traveling, I could go to the airport, put that on and feel that I'm feeling good
Yeah,
when I'm traveling as well. Yeah.
yeah, and your pair of jeans, striped t-shirt. I also talked about it, because we did pieces to pack as well. So these are those pieces that you can easily move up and down a season, change for a scarf or a cashmere scarf if it's cold, turtleneck. So it's just pieces to work up and down, but also that that it's going to perform the way we say it's going to perform. And I think things, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in fashion as well, as in life. And I think that word trust, it's actually trusting the people that you know are going to deliver, and they're there to support you with your wardrobe. And I think this is what we do really well. Our clients trust us, that we know that we've already done the hard work, we've already curated the pieces, and so the hard work's already done for them. They can just walk out the door and look fabulous.
Absolutely. Well, how good is that? And you're right. And it's that, what we spoke about earlier in terms of something that I can feel good in and feel confident in, and that energy that's come from your intention of your design. Yeah. And this is the thing that's so beautiful about your work, and that I love about your work, is that intentionality and that focus on love and helping a woman feel good from the minute that you're designing all the way through from production. You handle every single step, and then into something that's comfortable and great and trustworthy, something that I can wear and I know that it's going to be there when I need it. Because the last thing you want when you're traveling or when you're going to an important meeting, for something to sort of have a wardrobe malfunction. That is not ideal. And that has happened to me. I've had a couple of wardrobe malfunctions at important times. You go, what's going on? So yeah, so that is wonderful, Julie. So thank you so much. And I'm just going to ask, as we're coming into it, just talk about fashion trends coming into, we're coming into winter in Australia. I know in the Northern Hemisphere, coming into summer. Any specific fashion trends we should be aware of? Anything that you think is something that we should be looking out for?
I don't like to get into fashion trends as such, because I feel like we've nearly evolved past that, and women are individual in their own right, so they should be wearing things that they feel comfortable in. I think what's a trend in fashion is that sustainability. I mean, I think that in itself is a trend, and authenticity, and also being mindful of production methods and the imprint of what that whole garment has, in the life of that garment, from what we were just saying, from the design right through to the wearer. So I think, rather than having fashion trends, I think that is trending in the fashion industry. And people like myself, I mean, this has always been my purpose, but I think, going forward, I think on that top level of the mass market, they really have to be looking at sustainability and what it's doing, to Mother Earth, to Gaia. So
That's
yeah,
exactly.
I really believe in that. And I was seeing a speed up of that consumerism, and I just was more mindful, and I'm not judging or anything. I was just mindful that I was being integrous with my brand, and that what I was producing had a purpose, and also a long lifespan. And if it wasn't that lifespan, it was going to be handed down to someone or gifted, which my clothes are many, many times.
How beautiful. Well, what a great, and that is the best trend of all, this notion of sustainability and looking after the planet and looking after the people who make our clothes. So, Julie, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to talking to you again really soon.
Yes, I'd love to explain my next collection on the delicious pieces. So yes,
Fantastic.
thanks, Jen.
I'm looking forward to that deliciousness as well. All right, you take good care and we'll talk soon.
Okay, God bless.
Bye.